This video is all about logic, and I would like to show you precisely how you are using logic the wrong way from the ground up. I see so many people actually using an empty project to start everything. Obviously, this is absolutely wrong. Here's why. So if you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel for more content like this that will be very helpful for yourself and for me as well. So back to Logic Pro 10. As you can see, I'm using the latest version. And what is this canvas? It's an empty canvas that I put together. It took me hours to put it together, of course. To begin with, I set all tracks here. You see, you have strings, brass, winds, and more. Kick, sub bass, electronic drums, synthesizers, vocals separately. And you see that there are vectorized and bitmap icons. On each and every track, there is a different setting. I did this for a very specific reason. Each track here, each channel with a vector icon represents an instruments channel. So this is where you put your sampler instruments, your software synthesizers and everything. And on the bitmap channel, you have simply an audio track on which you can import your audio tracks. It could be, for example, let's see here if I have something from Primal Impact, which is my upcoming library, and we have one-shots, and let's hear some hits. Oh wow, this is cool, isn't it? Oh, this is a cool one. So Primal Impacts, I digress a bit, but Primal Impacts is an experiment that I put together with my trusty Drum Brute Impact from Arturia. More about this later anyway, but Primal Impact, here we have a nice boomer that you can easily put on the FX channel. And here, this is how you do it. You just, and boom. And you don't want to import the tempo, of course. And by doing this, you have the right color, as you can see, because everything in my canvas is with this color. If now I would like to import a kick drum, yeah, this one is really nice. Here's my kick drum audio track. Look at what happens. Here, another color, and of course, by labeling my stuff in advance, I just can say Primal Impact Kick 06, and then I use Option Shift N so that the region takes its name, gets labeled just like the channel in question. And I can do here the opposite, which is Control Shift Option N. And here you can see that Primal Impact FX Boomer 07, but here I would have to use FX Primal Impact. That would be the right one. And then I do Option Shift N to have the right name, the right label on the region itself. I did the same with the kick drum. Let's try a hi-hat like this, but this time as an electronic drums instrument, so as a quick sampler. Here, quick sampler, and boom, I have this. And we can actually put something together. Another tip I'm going to show you here, and if you don't know this one, well, that explains that you're using Logic the wrong way. So the thing is, I have something that must be equal to a quarter note exactly. But as you can see, it's not, the length is not exactly a quarter note. How do I fix this? Well, I set it as long as possible. Then I use my command key on the keyboard. As you can see here, I use the command key. I hold it and then I click where 1, 2, 1, 1, which is the second beat begins, and I double click and I remove the accident that I don't need anymore. From there, if you don't know this trick, again, this is that proves that you don't know Logic at all. And I just press L and loop this. And let's say I want 8 bars of this. I have 31 virtual copies of this. I will turn this into real copies. And from there, I have 2 options. I could actually merge them to create something, but that's going to add the merge thing and all. What I like to do is actually put them all together in a folder at that state. And there I have a perfect 8-bar loop of just one kick. As simple as that. So let's listen to it without the metronome. Good. Let's record these hi-hats here. We could use a note repeater actually. Yeah. Should be good. And boom, and you see that it's green. Now I could give it the Primal Impact Hats 19 name. Just like the other tracks, Option Shift N to label the region just like the channel name. And here I have for me, that sounds all right. That's cool. Okay, what I would like to show you now is the routing of everything else. Not only the buses, as you can see, that I send to a main out, which is not the stereo out, but another bus, which is bus 256. So I routed the tracks to a separate bus for the kick, the sub, electronic drums, and that explains why they have different colors too. And let's not talk about the returns now. Let's just talk about the mix buses. Here is where you find the bus channels with everything already set up the way I need them to be. This way, I don't waste time with, rebalance. The reason why I put them all in a folder here, and listen to me very attentively. The reason why I put them all in a folder stack, as you can see here on your screen, is because when you do this in Logic, you create a VCA volume channel here. And this thing is marvelous because instead of actually setting the volume after the plugins, it sets the volume before they hit the plugins, and so the compressor, the limiters also, which is very important. And I did this on track level to re-level pretty much everything at once, so that it doesn't hit the red all the time, for example, or when it's not loud enough, I put it back, I set it back to a normal gain. And then I did that with the mix buses. And I have this VCA fader that lets me control, well, that lets me set the volume for all the mix buses at the same time. It's extremely practical, handy, because this way, the main outs, I can just say, hey, I don't want that to hit the red at all when it gets in the main outs before it goes into the limiter. And I can show you an example here with just a kick and hat, you will understand. So here we have the mix buses. You see? And now everything can be set on the bus level. That's very, very, very handy. And as you can see, it hits the red if you set the volume incorrectly. But let's say, for example, I am going too loud, and this is going to happen a lot, if you ask me. This is the reason why I put this thing together. It's going to hit the red a lot, so you need to change the volume. Imagine you have set a whole automation and everything, and you want to export your work, and then it hits the red constantly on each track or each bus. This is not exactly what you want. You want something that's reliable. You want something that does not hit the red. Even with 64-bit treatment and everything, I don't trust that. I only trust my ears, but also the meters in Logic, because they are very precise for that purpose. So you see the buses, you have the strings, the brass, and everything. But you're going to ask me, what about the sends and returns? Absolutely right. Here's what I did. For each, let's say, group, we have a pair of sends already set up. You just need to add the effects here on the return. And I have return 1 and return 2. And you see that it appears automatically. I set that up in Logic, of course. And this way, I can say, hey, I want, a step effects. I'm going to show you why. It's very, very cool to do, actually. Let's say I want this, and the wrong channel, of course, but here's my channel. Sorry about that. See, now I just have this delay, actually. And you see that there is some kind of emulation of a sidechain or something similar, and I can add some distortion if I want. Isn't that cool? So you have the returns, and they end up in the same bus channel that's here. And the kick bus, that's the sum of each group of instruments, of each family of instruments. It's very practical to work that way. If you have any questions about this template, if you would like to have this template, actually, I give it away for free, with every single Logic product on my website, airwave-music.com/shop. So you have it with the Playground and also with Urban Adventures so far. And you get this naked version of the template free. It's actually in the project alternatives, which are here. And you will see that there will be here. I just put this together for the purpose of this video, a naked template. You see, it's as simple as that. And you even have space for your MIDI regions, so you don't have to save them here. That's it. That's pretty much it. And you even have a reference track. So that's the coolest thing. Let's see if I have. Let's take a loop from Primal Impact. Okay, this is my reference track. Let's say here, reference track. Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna play my sequence from here. And now listen to what's going to happen as soon as I unmute my reference track. Again. I use for that purpose the noise gate. It overrides the master out. This is the reason why I sent everything not to the stereo out, but to this. So I can use the reference track here as a separate channel that for that purpose, I have a reference bus here and I send it to the stereo out. That's the difference. But that's very practical because that means that you could say, hey, I want to use several reference tracks, you know, and just take another one. Let's say this one, and that's my reference track. So let's go back here. You see, that's the thing. You can have like 5, 6, 7 reference tracks and everything just works. So this is what you need to do with your Logic template, let's say your startup project. Do not use empty project. It's only cool when you want to test out something like a new instrument or a new plugin or new features in Logic. Then I would say, yeah, go for it. But in the context of making music, creation, just go for a naked template like this. It's gonna speed up your process of creation in general. And I remind you, if you want this kind of template, you can find them in Urban Adventures for Logic and the Playground for Logic templates on my website, airwave-music.com. The empty template version comes in for free. So thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope you liked it as much as I did. Remember to subscribe if you like it, if you would like to see more content like this in the future. And please let me know if you have any questions or any comments, positive, negative, about this video. And I will take that into account in the future. Thanks a lot once again. Have a nice day. Bye.